All right. I just started recording, so sensors on. Good term. I'm going to use that. All right.
Can we go slow?
Absolutely, because this is the deepest part of this course. So we're
So
going
you want us
to
to
take it
type
slow.
every?
We're going to go very, very slowly, but you're going to need to type a lot of discussions that we have as well. You're going to need to type spoken words. Maybe not just for me, but from your classmates as well. Probably not. I might say this is a good discussion to type down, but there are going to be some things I'm going to talk about that I'm not going to consciously think of every single time. So if you think it's important, write it down. Do that. All right. First, let's start with what you know about the Bill of Rights. Okay? We know a few of them. For those of you that don't know, the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. Too happy today. It was a joke. I heard you.
You heard
I did.
That's not what I meant.
No, I heard everything you said before we started class. It was a joke.
Oh.
That's made you smile.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
Dude was sweating. You gotta
somebody tell me one of the first 10 amendments. Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments. It's only one of them. One of the 10. You're not wrong. Correct. So if you know one right off the top of your head, shoot your hand up because those are going to be gone. Go ahead, kid. Okay, First Amendment includes 5 points. Okay? You don't need to type this down yet. This is just discussion. Okay, we're going to go through each amendment of the Bill of Rights in detail. So don't worry about that. The First Amendment includes 5 points. 1 is speech, religion, press, there are 2 you don't know, petition,
Wait, what's 4 do you know?
speech, religion, press, petition, which we just got done talking about, and assembly. An assembly. Yeah, those are the 5. Now, what some of you may not know is that the First Amendment, freedom of press, allows the press to publish anything and everything that they deem to be press. So, for example, if the press were to have gotten a hold of the video that came out last summer, or I guess it was this past summer, of ISIS beheading the American citizen, and they wanted to show it on their website, there's absolutely nothing anyone could do to stop it. Nothing. They are allowed to publish press in its most pure form, and the government is not allowed to tell them what they can and cannot publish. Okay? 0 censorship. What else? That's 1.
Are you asking for this?
I'm asking 2 through 10. If you know it, shout it out.
2 is something about,
I'll read it to you. Yeah, it is. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep their arms shall not be infringed. Okay? So that's talking about, huh?
Said I want one of those books.
Those are good.
I'll just put it in my glove box and flip it to there.
I got it on clearance for $5.
Where at? Bookstore or something?
Barnes and Noble.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Before, well, it's Books and Company now, with degree, but it used to be Barnes and Noble. So 2, it not only says you can keep and bear arms, but it also says that the federal government is allowed to have a militia. Yeah, armies and stuff. What else? Search and seizure. You know which one it is? Fourth Amendment, that's what we'll have the most questions about, okay? Unlawful search and seizure, that also, seizure is basically arrest, being arrested, okay?
You're not allowed, or the government can't make, like, they can't make you have somebody to live in your house, like, do you know what I mean?
They can,
Like, isn't it during time of, like, if there's only war or something like that?
yeah. So you're talking about the Third Amendment, no soldier in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by laws.
So what is, so they can just.
They
show
can
up
be,
and like-
as long as it's according to the law. But they can't be in times of peace without the consent of the owner, nor in the time of war, which means they can't even in wartime unless the law says they can. All right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here's where everything starts to get hazy normally.
It's paralyzed, trying twice.
Double jeopardy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a part of, anybody know? Remember that is? It's close. It's a 6. Yeah. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy public trial and impartial jury in the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed by the nature of the cause of the accusation, be confronted with the witness against him, and have compulsory process of obtaining witnesses in his favor, and have the assistance of counsel in his defense. And then 5 and 6 really go together, so they sort of blur.
Aren't they not allowed to, like, something
Double
about,
jeopardy is fine.
something about, they're not allowed to take your stuff and use it for like public use, like they can.
Okay,
Kinda like, what is it?
you're talking about eminent domain,
Yeah.
and the government can take your stuff, and they can.
What the heck, why?
And we'll watch a video on that, so I won't talk about that. Anybody know what Amendment 7 is? This is probably one of the most laughable amendments that we have.
We had to learn these last year, I'm not.
Yeah, in suits at common law where the value and controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved. So if you are arguing over something worth more than $20 and you want to take it to the federal court, you absolutely can. Anything that's worth $20 or more. Anything. Yes, if it's valued at $20 or more. Pretty funny. 8, excessive bail shall not be required nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual in punishment. Yeah.
When did they write that?
When?
Yeah.
These were like right after they passed the original Constitution, 1789.
$20 in 1789 was probably a lot of money.
It was.
It's not now, that's probably 20
Not so
years
much
ago,
anymore.
it's like $2,000. It should
But-
be updated.
Inflation wasn't a concept that was understood at this time.
We should still update it.
Yeah, they probably should bump it up a little.
$20, 1789. If I'm correct on my inflation here, it's like close to $1,000.
Yeah, probably. Nowadays, you get a gumball for $20 basically.
$20 isn't a lot of money anymore.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Although some of you might be able to fill your cards up for $20.
Hey, I can.
Something I've never been able to say.
And it's not.
45 gallon tanks.
26 gallon tank, diesel, $5.05 a gallon when I first started driving. If you can do the math, it's about $140 to fill up my truck.
That means I buy bicycles.
Because I'm in the business at the time. And that. But, all right, 9 and 10. Here are the two no one knows. Does anybody know 9 and 10? Oh.
Having something about powers.
You are cheating, shut up.
It is about powers.
Something about powers.
I'll read you 9 and then 10. All right, so here's 9. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So that means that Congress, the executive branch, the Supreme Court can't use the powers that they have to disparage the citizens because the citizens have powers. They can't infringe upon their rights with their powers. So what that means is they can't use, like Congress can't use the elastic clause to create a law that would violate any of the amendments or any part of the Constitution.
That's where the limit is at.
Right, that's the limit. And then 10, going off what Ally was saying, the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states or reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. What that means is if the Constitution doesn't directly give the power to the federal government, and it also doesn't say the states aren't allowed to have it, then that power goes to the states. And if the states decide to take it, they have it. If the states decide not to, the people retain the power. Does that make sense? All right. Good, because we're going to talk about it for a really long time.
We would get lucky.
They just went in the box.
Are we writing all of that
It's
first
a bunch
one?
of brown, it wasn't white. That's all that's apple pie.
It's a label.
That's cool. That is cool stuff.
Should we write this?
You want to write that down?
Should we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the First Amendment in its entirety.
In our notes, or is it summed up a little
Is
bit?
it required by law?
It's not required by law. If you want to write this down, go ahead. This is basically the First Amendment, so you can look this up anytime you want without ever writing it down.
Who's dinging, bro?
Yeah, whoever's digging, don't ding. Make that stop. Go on, you've been wearing that hat the whole period. You've been wearing your hat the whole period. You're sleeping with your eyes open. Have you been wearing this the whole period? You gotta take that off.
Dude, I've gotten goosebumps in my head before. It's the weirdest thing ever.
Any of you ever, I know I've talked about this, Alexander Hamilton, they're doing the musical on Alexander Hamilton, right? You guys heard about this? Okay. It's gonna sound really, really nerdy, and it is, so bear with me. But it's not as like horrible as you would think. You know how people think, like when you're a kid, you want to hear like catchy hip hop songs about washing your hands. You know,
Dude.
it sounds totally stupid. It's the worst thing you've ever heard in your life.
Oh, yeah.
This is closer to, wow, that's pretty good, and this is really kind of nerdy. Okay, so it's right on the border though. It's called Alexander the Musical, and it is a biography about Alexander Hamilton, which, if you don't know, wrote 55 of the Federalist Papers and proposed almost all of these amendments to the Bill of Rights directly. But it's told in a way using rap and hip hop music, and they have cabinet battles. Some of the lyrics are pretty explicit and pretty graphic, so don't listen to it. I can only show you a few that I can think of. But most of them contain coarse language, so.
It's not like we have.
Yeah, I know there's a limit.
Coarse language and suggestive things. So, you can watch them in their entirety on Spotify. So just search Hamilton Music and you can watch them. Please look at the lyrics because sometimes it's so fast that you can't even hear exactly what they're saying. So Hamilton the Musical. Super fast paced, rap, hip hop, R&B type stuff. Slower songs.
Is it all, like, is it legit, like, good rap?
Some of it, yeah. They have cabinet battles where they're on the floor of the Congress arguing with each other.
Wait, don't they make that one about didn't they make the one about, when, Abraham Lincoln got shot? Did he do one on that?
Here talking.
No.
I think you're talking about Why This Kid You Know.
Yeah, you're talking about that.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. All right, let's get started. Here are the details of Amendment 1. One of the most important amendments in the Bill of Rights. Why? Why is Amendment 1 one of the most important amendments in the Bill of Rights?
Kind of sets the foundation for a lot of things.
sets the foundation for a ton of things.
It tells us like freedom of speech. Blah, 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 blah.
Right, it says, hey, you're allowed to say whatever you want within reason. But the beautiful part about Amendment 1 is, does it cover what you say on the internet? Yes. Does it cover what you say on the phone, what you write down, what you send in a text message, all those things that didn't exist when the Constitution was written? The First Amendment is still protecting you.
Okay, but how do you have freedom of speech, but you can be arrested for it, like obstructing justice or something like that?
Obstructing justice,
Or like,
according to the law, doesn't have anything to do with what you're saying.
so what is the one that has something to do with what you're saying? Like, they can arrest you for it, I don't know what it's called.
It's called slander.
Yeah, there's something else.
Like trying to
But like
destroy
if you-
somebody's life with words.
Right, like if I were to go on TV and say, Becky is running an illegal drug ring in her home, I know it for sure, go and into her house and check it, and then I know that's not true, that's illegal. I am slandering her name with my words on
If you were
purpose.
like, because at a cop or something, how can they arrest you for that?
They can't.
So it's freedom of speech, you can say what you want.
You can cuss at a cop all you want.
Can you really?
Spit absolutely, as long as you don't threaten a police officer, yeah.
I've been almost arrested several times because apparently they think that I'm defiant and all this, and I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to explain the story, okay?
They can detain you if you're like moving in front of them and stopping them from doing their job, then that's a problem.
No, I was sitting down. I was like, dude, get away from me.
Oh.
I love it when stories start with, well, the first time I got arrested.
You're not gonna talk.
So there you go. Tax the rights of Americans to worship as they please, or to have no religion at all, if they prefer. So the First Amendment not only protects your right to practice religion, but it also protects your right to not practice religion. And you won't be discriminated against if you don't.
Religion's hard.
It's hard to say interesting, because I know I go to church and I'm like, oh my God.
It's
hard
tough.
to choose. Like,
It
I don't
is.
choose anything. I accept every religion for its so, and whatever's.
Well, on paper, so does the American government.
Wait, what?
Now, I said on paper, the American government accepts every religion. Now- Right. Which is why all of his plans would be unconstitutional and they could never be actually put in practice.
So he's basically not gonna be president.
But that's, people don't know that, first of all. That's a good point, Mitch. And second of all, is he's just telling people what they want to hear.
So wait, is his
To get
law
support.
unconstitutional? Like,
It's-
the big law that he
The
wants
law
to-
is not, but it's financially a horrible, horrible
So
mistake.
is him sending people back to their countries unconstitutional?
No, that is legal if they're not here legally.
We are all terrain, we can
Did you
just
see the rally for that?
He's talking about
Like,
money.
X and out.
Yeah, that's a good question.
still fine over there.
You can still jump in the water like you have now, what makes you think they won't?
Here, let me put it this way. A lot of people don't know this. It is cheaper to allow, now, for this, I'm not trying to say that we should allow, but it is cheaper to allow illegal immigrants to have those things, like Social Security and benefits, than it is to detain them, hold them, and then deport them, because we have to pay for their travel expenses.
So why don't we just,
So it is actually cheaper to let the illegal immigrants stay than it is to deport them. Do with that what you will.
but I still have.
Because if you think about it, in the long term, if Social Security does run out because of that fact, then maybe it's worth spending the extra money now so that there's money left at the end, but that's up to you.
I just don't understand how we keep building the walls in our country when we already have a border. I mean, what makes them think they won't find a way over the wall that he's gonna build? Was he gonna cut it down into the ground so they can't go under it?
South Park illustrated this very perfectly. Exactly. I swear to God.
And he's not wrong. They did a really good job.
Well, I like
Because they apparently Canada was like acting like they had
Yeah, yeah.
Donald Trump, and it illustrated what was happening.
No, what happened is actually what's happening in Canada now. People are fleeing Canada because they elected a Donald Trump-like person, very similar characteristics,
That's
and
what happened here.
well, it's honest, they were kind of making fun of the United States for entertaining Donald Trump. But basically that happened in Canada, everybody thought it was funny, and then he got elected, and they were like, oh crap, what are we doing?
And that was rude.
Hey,
Thursday, Friday. We had 2 hours. I'm not one. You don't know how bad my week's not according to
you guys get 2 hours for power outages? I thought you only got them for weather delays.
No, that's why I thought doing that for.
But it was weather related power.
Oh,
Okay.
all right, now, let me finish this up. Freedom of religion, so this includes separation of church and state. So separation of church and state means the following. This is not the case. No law by the federal government, state government, local government in any way, shape, or form can be based on a religious idea. No law can be based on a religious idea. So, for example, if the Bible were to say you are not allowed to, I don't know, eat pork, and then there was a law proposed that said it's illegal to eat pork, that law would be unconstitutional. So, like what, Becky? Where are you going?
He can't do what he wants to do.
Correct. He cannot make those laws because the state is not responsible for religion. Matt, where are you going with this? There's one more way to go.
Alright, technically, if we didn't like what he was trying to do, we could just impeach him and job done.
Impeaching him wouldn't do anything good. We'd have to remove him from
Yeah,
office.
that's what I mean, we could just vote it.
Sure.
Why didn't they do
So
that?
give me a heart attack.
What would he be if?
So, where are we going with this? It's the elephant in the room. Same-sex marriage, right?
Yeah.
Why was same-sex marriage illegal? Because it is the foundation of Christianity, of Islam, of Judaism, and every religion that has ever existed ever. So where did the idea that it was wrong and should be illegal come from? Religion.
Separation of church and state.
Separation of church and state says that the state is not allowed to make laws regarding that.
Nice.
Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the Supreme Court not only ruled that same-sex marriage was protected under the 14th Amendment, but they also ruled that those bans violated the First Amendment as separation of church and state, and that states don't have the ability to make laws regarding this because it's founded in religion. Buddhism? I don't know. I don't know Buddhism very well. I said Judaism though, which is being Jewish or following the
Is it pronounced that way?
Judaism.
It's just, oh, that's.
Some words are weird with them pluralized.
It's like
Pluralized.
you can be a Muslim, but you can't follow Muslim. Does that make sense? Like you can be a Christian, but you can't follow Christian. You follow Christianity, and you are a Christian. You are a Muslim, but you follow Islam. You are a Jew, but you follow Judaism. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
Two different things. Somebody help me out here. What does prior restraint mean? And I literally want you to look this up on your computers as you're sitting here. Prior restraint.
Censorship includes usually by a government on expression before the expression can actually take place.
Prior restraint is the censorship by a government agency on the press. Now, after our quick discussion at the beginning of class, is prior restraint legal?
No.
In no way. In no way. So, if a member of the press, how many of you know who Edward Snowden is? Raise your hand if you know Edward Snowden.
Edward
What did you do,
Snowden.
Becky?
He was, part of that one thing,
He worked for the NSA.
yeah, it was, and he
People that are reading your emails and, you know, everybody's freaking out about listening to your phone calls.
like supposed, he like told them what the government was doing.
Right.
Fleet away, they still have conversation, whatever.
Well, we know where he is, we just can't get him. So basically, Edward Snowden worked for the NSA, saw the invasion, what he deemed to be an over-invasion of privacy. He leaked that information to WikiLeaks, which is a press site. They have information and they produce it. Since he worked for the government, that's illegal.
I feel like I watched a documentary over the weekend about it.
Probably.
The,
But WikiLeaks, did they get in trouble?
No.
Absolutely not, and they never can.
So he probably was in prison for treason or something, right?
Nope,
No.
he fled before he posted the documents and he's in Russia, which does not extradite. Which means if they committed a crime in the United States, Russia
He
won't
is
send him.
one.
Why would he ruin his whole life just to tell people, hey, by the way?
He's saying he did it to protect the America's freedoms, to tell the Americans what's happening.
Stop, so he's not protecting it.
They did, but it had happened for years before, and now we know about it. All of a sudden, everybody's freaking out about it, but it's been happening for like 15 years.
Wait, what?
But it is.
They can screen your phone calls and your text messages and your emails and
Sometimes when you talk about it, it doesn't go there.
like, I don't know if you want to hear this or not. Snapchat is required by law to store every single photo that is sent using their services so that they can be subpoenaed by law enforcement.
That must be a terrible job.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no,
It's pretty crazy, right? Yeah, man.
Isn't it illegal to be saving pictures that show?
It is if you are underage.
Well, I've never looked into it, so.
So what? So you're saying that that's legal even if you're over it?
If you are 18 years old, an individual that is also 18 years old, you're both consenting adults. And it's
Then
totally
why are
legal.
you telling us?
Porn is not illegal. Porn is illegal if you're under the age of 18 in Ohio. Some states it's 21. Like Utah, porn is illegal until you're 21. So, I got a quick video for you. Please be quiet. Pay attention.
In 1789, people were noticing some things our new Constitution didn't take care of. So the first Congress came up with 10 changes, or amendments. These became known as the Bill of Rights. The First Amendment is important because Congress actually told itself what it could not do. If written using today's language, the First Amendment would say, you can't pass laws that keep people from practicing their religion. You can't pass laws that keep people from speaking their minds or publishing their ideas. And you can't pass laws that stop folks from getting together peacefully to express their views to their government. The First Amendment, it's a biggie. And that's another act of Congress.
All right, despite the fact the guy has possibly the most annoying voice in the world, the information in the video, although presented in a sort of humorous way, that's probably a little bit below your grade level, the information is good, okay? First Amendment protects all 5 of those things. Patch yourself up. Are you ready to go? I just didn't wear them today.
If I don't wear mine, don't wear them.
Yeah, my faces hurt less since I've gotten mine.
Legally,